I'd like to welcome everyone, Spartans, our whole Spartan family, to our annual college commitment ceremony. On this stage are 14 Spartan seniors that are officially announcing their college commitments and their commitment to play at the next level. Some of them will play at schools in-state, some of them will play schools out-of-state, but what they all have in common is that dream and desire to carry on their athletic careers at the next level. On behalf of Wayne Miller, who unfortunately couldn't be here at this moment, I'm stepping in to say congratulations to this group. From our athletic department to our whole Tabor family, we wish this crew up here on stage the best of luck. You've been great Spartans. Carry on that Spartan tradition, heart and pride onto college, and fulfill your dreams of getting that college degree, along with competing on that college athletic field or court or whatever that dream is, moving on to the next level. At this point, we're going to start with our rather large football signing class. We have 8 football players, and at this point, I'm going to bring up Coach Marshall to introduce his football players who are announcing their commitments.
Thank you, Mr. Applegate. I want to again further welcome everyone for coming out. This is always one of my favorite days of the year. It represents not only an ending, but a new beginning. And the best thing about coaching is that you get the opportunity to see a group of young people grow over a long period of time. I remember just like yesterday when these gentlemen right here walked on campus our first day as freshmen. The very first gentleman we want to introduce today and recognize is a special young man. He came to us in sophomore year from North Forsyth. First couple of years, he was an all-conference offensive lineman, and he exemplifies the notion that we always extend to our kids that hard work pays off. He put us all into the off-season. He put us all into the season. A perfect example of a gentleman, of a team leader, someone who sacrificed himself for the sake of the team. And all his hard work is paid off from going from an undersized offensive lineman, a sophomore and a junior, to a Division I defensive end recruit. And we're talking about Jermaine Blake. Just a little bit about Trey. Trey does a great job off the field as well as an honor roll student. This year he led our team. He was actually tied our team with KD with 16 sacks and 21 tackles for loss. He's a 3-time all-conference player, had 87 total tackles. And of course was honored as both all-conference and all-county. Trey will be taking his talents next year to South Carolina State University. South Carolina.
First of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for getting me where I am today. Without him, none of this would be possible. I would also like to thank each and every one of you sitting here in this room for coming to this special event. The simple fact that you're here right now shows me and all the other athletes that we have the care and support we need in order to continue to be excellent student athletes. I would like to thank my mother, who over the years has given me the support and care that's allowed me to play the sport I love. I also would like to thank my dad, who has taught me everything I know about the game of football and being a man. I love you both. Shout out to the team, coaches, and everyone else associated with us for being with me through this journey. That means a lot to me. Last but not least, I want to thank my best friend who stuck with me through both good times and bad times. It means the world to me. That's it. Thank you.
Good job, Trey. Our next young man had a similar beginning to his Mount Tabor career as Trey. We're talking about Kadrian Doherty. KD also came to us from North Forsyth his sophomore year 3 years ago. And one of the best things that I can say about KD, other than the fact that he's just a magnificent young man, the type of young man that you want your daughter to marry? Is that his? No, I don't have a daughter, so I'm just saying that more easily than others. No, but I'm serious. Just a great young man. KD's last game was his best one. And I think that says something about his preparation, his approach to the game, his work ethic. After the senior year, when he knew he was going to be moving on to the next level, he's even increased his work ethic. And I think he's got tremendous upside. He's another honor roll student. Also led our team with 16 sacks, had 20 tackles for loss. And was third on the team with 80 tackles for loss. KD will be taking his talents to Elon University just down the road next year.
Feels good to be up here getting this scholarship. Well, first of all, I do want to thank the Lord for not having none of this. True. I want to thank all the coaches, Coach Marshall, Coach Brown, Coach Ron, Coach G, Coach Bowie, who's not here, for getting us all right for me to play Friday. And I want to thank my mom, who sit right there. My little brother too. I can't forget about him. They all supported me. Every football game they could pretend they was there, and it felt good. I swear, sometimes I heard her screaming in the stands over everybody. And I want to thank y'all too, man. Y'all make me feel good up here. Clapping and jumping, But yeah.
Good job, KD. Okay, next up is OJ, Elijah Ferguson. Now, it's been a long, winding road for OJ to get to this point. And I'm not ashamed to say, just like I tell him all the time, that he has given me my share of headaches over the last 4 years. But I say that to point out what I said originally, that to see a young man grow, to see him have the opportunity to mature, to see him come such a long way in so many aspects of his life, not only on the field, but off the field, with his schoolwork, with maturity. To get to this point, there were some rough times, but OJ, his bubbly personality, have always been positive. His undying belief in himself got him to this point. That's going to carry him on for the rest of his career and the rest of his life as well. Elijah is a rare player at Mount Tabor. He is a 4-year varsity football player. Started several games his freshman year. Just a player who's extremely versatile, has played a number of positions on both sides of the ball and on special teams, from being a short yardage fullback to playing defensive end to defensive tackle to inside linebacker to outside linebacker. Just a team player who will do whatever it takes for the team to be successful. OJ will be taking his talents to Mendocino College in California next year, and we're extremely proud of him.
I definitely want to thank God and all the ones that's helped me get to this place in life. Especially Coach Marshall, good practice. He said I'm crying because it's hot outside. And all that. Especially my mom and dad. I leave the game Friday, don't play mom to the fullest. I'm hearing every time I get my equipment off. And thanks for everybody getting on me when I'm wrong and things like that, because it's definitely helped me become a better man and everything. So that's it. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, OJ. Next up is Daquan Fitzgerald. As coaches, as educators, we give a lot of lip service to the concept of the student athlete. Daquan Fitzgerald exemplifies the very notion of a student athlete. He's got over a 4.2 GPA. Another young man with impeccable character and a football player. Daquan was a key reserve for us his junior year. Got some playing time, but wasn't a full-time starter. Really came on. We really saw him come on towards the end of his junior year. Not a guy that complained, just a guy that went back and worked hard. He came out his senior year, went from being a reserve to an all-Central Piedmont Conference player, to being one of our biggest playmakers, and definitely one of the best technicians that I've ever had the opportunity to coach. A great route runner, explosive in different phases of the game. In the kick return game, he can catch a swing pass and take it to the house, and he can beat you on the deep ball as well. They're going to be taking his talents just down the road to go for college next year. We'll continue to exemplify the idea of a student athlete that we're truly proud of. Daquan Fitzgerald.
When Coach Resevich, head coach over at Guilford College, first spoke to me, I thought, Guilford is not somewhere I wanted to go. That's way too close to home. There's no way I could do that. But I took a visit up there, and I loved it, and I realized that this is what I want to do, and this is what I was supposed to do. So I want to thank God for giving me this opportunity. I want to thank everyone who supported me, my parents. I want to thank all the coaches. Coach Brown first for speaking to me. I want to thank Coach Gerald for putting us through all those drills because it helped me grow as a person as well as a player. And that's all. Thank you.
For those of us who know Reggie McCombs, Reggie gets frustrated with me quite a bit because I always call him Reggie McCombs III. One reason because I know him, grew up with his dad. And secondly, just because I want to get on his nerves a little bit because he gets on mine sometimes. But for those of us who know, yes, there are 3 people named Reggie McCombs, but there's only one Reggie McCombs. He's an original, a magnetic personality. Always got a smile on his face. Sometimes we got to get him to be a little bit more serious at appropriate times, but a guy who also knows how to bring a mean streak out on the field. Reggie's also another long-term starter for us, been on the varsity for 3 years, been a full-time starter for 2 years, anchoring that right side of the offensive line, and has had some of the biggest performances that we've ever had for an offensive lineman and some of our biggest victories. Reggie's one of those guys who's a jumbo athlete, a former basketball player. I know he doesn't look like it at first glance. No, and I'm not saying that jokingly. That's an ultimate compliment. And as big as he is, he's extremely nimble. And I think playing basketball all of those years just gave him the idea of not just being a player, but being an athlete. That's going to help him out at the next level when he's got to face competition at the collegiate level. Reggie's going right across town to one of the top Division II programs in the United States, Winston-Salem State.
Family members. And everybody, all my friends that supported me came out of my game. Y'all turned up for H2O for me. He ain't ready for me on the court either. Well, I appreciate everything. Thank y'all.
Next up is Malik Smith. And what's not to say about Malik Smith? His personality as a player kind of mirrors his personality as a person, just a well-rounded individual, another guy who you wouldn't mind your daughter dating. A 3-year varsity player, a 2-time all-conference player as a quarterback, and maybe the most complete quarterback that I've ever had the opportunity to coach. He can play man, he can play zone. Those of you who are used to watching him play know he's not afraid to mix it up, though he may be small in stature. An honor roll student, again, a great character guy. The very first game of his senior year, right here at Sparks Stadium, against Porter Ridge, he had a school record 3 interceptions in 1 game, and led the county this year with 10 interceptions. Y'all welcome up Malik Smith.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what to say. I don't know where to start. Like, I just want to say thank God. Gotta start with that. Second, I want to thank my coaches. You know, they pushed me. They pushed me. I went from the little guy on JV, with the big boy shoulder pad, to that little guy on varsity with the big boy moves. But not last, I want to thank my mama. She couldn't make it, you know, she had to work. But, you know, she always pushed me no matter what. And even when she couldn't make the game, she was always waiting on the couch for me when I got home. She'd be like, how many tackles you get? How many picks you get? You know, I just want to thank her for that. I can't forget about my boys, my teammates. I want to thank them. I'm gonna miss them. Nah, don't start that. I'm gonna miss them, man. And if I had to go back and pick different people, definitely wouldn't. I'm glad I got to grow with these individuals. I got to get better with them. And just good luck, y'all. I miss y'all. I want to thank y'all. Y'all will make it happen. Y'all got that. But I ain't gonna take up all y'all time. I appreciate it. That's it.
Appreciate you. I'm glad everyone is getting to experience, myself and the rest of the coaches, the wide range of personalities that we're privileged to have the opportunity to experience on a daily basis. I remember very vividly Rashawn Thomas as a not so sure of himself freshman, walking the halls, one of his first times playing football. He's come so far that I'm reminded in just thinking about Rashawn and his journey, that this is the reason why we coach. We coach to see young men start in one place, get to point B, but not stop there, but to see their trajectory still going in the right direction. And I have no doubt that Rashawn Thomas will be a success at whatever he does. He happens to be Reggie's cousin, and he shares being a nimble athlete, also another former basketball player who uses that athleticism on the field. another great guy off the field, an honor roll student, a guy who really stepped up, was not a full-time starter his junior year, but really showed glimpses of the upside that he'll continue to develop at Winston-Salem State University. Just down the road. And I'm glad he was able to be so close. We're able to keep up with him, not only in games, but in practice as well. So we're extremely proud of Rashawn, and we know that he'll continue to grow. Rashawn Thomas. I joked with Rashawn a little earlier today that if you've ever seen the ceremony for the NFL Hall of Fame, this is exactly the jacket that we're wearing. So a little foreshadowing.
First of all, I want to give honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without Him, none of this would be possible at all. To my parents, my dad and my mom, sitting in the back, I love y'all so much and dearly. To my aunt, thank you for all the support too. To my teammates, I love all y'all sitting in the back. I see y'all, my boys up here. I mean, I'm just gonna miss Friday nights in Mount Tabor, and I continue to look forward to what's gonna be at the collegiate level. Thank you.
Well, one of my favorite pastimes that I do in the off season, and all my guys, a lot of them here in the audience know, I like to challenge my guys to games of one-on-one in basketball. And most of the time I win. I mean, I don't think I've lost a 7-game series to any of these guys ever. And they think that I really think I'm good in basketball, but I know I'm really not. I'm just playing them to stay in shape, one. But number two, I really want to see what kind of competitor they are. I really want to see if I foul them, if they're going to start crying about the call, if they go down in the game, and I'm talking trash to them, if they're going to keep their composure. I want to see what type of competitor they are. Well, I've got a 7-game series going with Dayron White right now. And I'll give him credit. He was down 3-1. He won game 5 and 6. He has absolutely zero chance to win game 7. But my favorite thing about Dayron that was not only displayed in this series, but you see it every Friday night and in practice, is that he is an absolute great competitor. Sometimes a little bit over the edge, but give me that guy. Give me that guy that I've got to calm down, but he's not going back any challenge. And that's the attitude he takes on the field and off the field. Perfect gentleman off the field. He's got ideal size and athleticism for a new school corner, about 6'2". They want to be taking his talents up to Dean College in Massachusetts. And I think he's really got a lot of upside. He's got a very bright future in the game of football and in the classroom as well. Love him to death. He was another all-conference and all-county player this year. Very proud of Dayron White. Come on.
Well, y'all don't know how nervous I am. But first off, I want to thank God and my family right here in the front row. I want to thank my coaches and all my teammates, especially people like Coach Vaughn and Coach Harrison and Coach Brennan for picking me up in the summer when I didn't have no rides to practice. And I also want to thank Coach Marshall for keeping me on board, because sometimes, man, I do get out of line, man. I take it overboard, but I'm just competitive, man. But, you know, I ain't prepared, but thank you.
Okay, before we turn it over to the next sport, I'd be remiss not to mention a couple other guys. First of all, John Werman. Where's John? Definitely want to recognize John. You know, John is an all-state soccer player. going on to Davidson on a soccer scholarship. John came out after us bugging him quite a bit all throughout last year. First year ever playing football, and became not only a standout place kicker, but became the punter of the year in the CPC. Just off the way in. We would not have had the season that we've had without his services. And I also want to recognize, if you can just wave your hand and stand up, James Antoine. James Antoine, one of the very best careers we've ever had at Mount Tabor. Two-time All-Conference, two-time 1,000-plus yard rusher, maybe the most complete back I've ever coached. James will be taking his talents to Dartmouth College next winter after spending a semester in prep school, but we definitely want to recognize James as well. Something real quick to say, and then we'll turn it over to the other speaker.
Okay, don't mean to take more of your time, but there's one person that I forgot to thank, and she told me not to do it, but I can't not do that because it is. Her name is Sal. A lot of y'all don't know me, but this girl knows me better than anyone, and I beat myself up after every loss, and she was the one who picked me back up. And so I have to thank her. I have to thank my parents for supporting that, because that is what drives me. And I really do love it.
It's hard to kind of follow up that kind of act of love right there. It's hard to follow that up. Okay, next on our ceremony agenda is our women's basketball program, and here comes Coach Anderson.
First off, I'd like to thank Mr. Weiss, Mr. Applegate, Mr. Miller, and our entire staff for probably some of the greatest facilities in the state. I think we're real blessed here at Mount Tabor to have these people making sure that we have the best of everything. If you tour our gym right now, you'll see a few new things that just make this place a very special place to be. I want to thank my coaches who've done a great job of helping prepare our young ladies that are sitting up here on stage, and some that are sitting out in the audience as well. I'd also like to thank our parents. Some of them are even here today. They don't even have anybody up here. They're here in support of the program. And obviously, to thank my players who are sitting down here down front. We've always believed that a team and a family that prays together stays together. And that's what these young ladies do. Before and after every game, we pray. And I think it's a big, important thing that goes on here. First off, I would like to talk about Destiny Harrison. I want to thank Mr. and Ms. Harrison for being here, and a huge shout out to my boy Sam right there. Good to see you, my friend. Destiny was on our JV team for 2 years, and she had the honor, and I do say the honor, of playing for Coach Jamback for 2 years. And I think it helped her tremendously. Coach Jamback, I got off the phone talking to him today. He wanted to be here to celebrate this moment with you. Unfortunately, his health will not allow him to be here. But he sent his love, and he said he knew you had it in you the entire time. And he's exactly right. Destiny, when we came into the year, Destiny was possibly going to be one of our starters with a lot of hard work. And the last open gym that we had before we had tryouts, she separated her shoulder, and it took about 6 to 8 weeks for it to heal, and she got behind. But that still did not dampen her spirits. She still continued to work hard. She still gave us everything she had in practice. just hard work and hard work and hard work. And once she recovered, she stepped in and she became a very valuable member of our team, coming off the bench and just giving us a spark. She's probably one of the most athletic young ladies that I've had the honor of coaching. And I think that's what Coach Janback seen in her as well, was her athleticism. And I also think that that's what Roanoke's seen in her as well. It's not very often that somebody gets to go to college and play the sport that they love, and they didn't start that much in high school. That says a lot for Destiny. I think it says a lot for being part of the program. A lot of coaches trust things here, and they know that she is going to work hard and she's going to give them exactly what they're looking for. I think Roanoke is getting a very fine young athlete, student athlete, I might add that. And I look forward to seeing her play in college. One thing me and my wife do every year is we travel around the state to make sure that we see all of our players play at least one time in college each year. And I'm looking forward to making the drive to Roanoke to see her play. I want to thank Destiny for coming to Mount Tabor, for being such an asset to our program, and for being such a wonderful young person. And if you haven't met her, take the time today to meet her, because she is that special. Destiny, I love you. Good luck.
Okay, good afternoon. Let your faith be bigger than your fears. Not knowing if I was going to play my senior year was frightening. Hearing your doctor say your season is over was a major shock. I was determined I was going to play my senior year in high school. The 3 months I was out taught me dedication, things happen for a reason, and nothing's impossible with God. I first want to give honor and thanks to God for giving me the ability to play the sport I love. Secondly, I want to thank my family. Without you, I would not be the person I am today. Thanks for supporting me at every game and being my #1 fan. When I needed an extra boost and ready to quit, thanks for being there and pushing me to keep going. Thank you to my bishop and his family for being a second family to me and pushing me every step of the way. Thanks to my coaches for pushing me to my next level and helping me come back stronger than I was before. Thanks for pushing me out of my comfort zone this year and really helping me take it to the next level. Thanks to my lovely teammates for being my sisters, and thanks for always being that shoulder to lean on when I needed someone to talk to. This year was amazing. We achieved so many things when people doubted us. Remember next year when the season comes around and things get rough, don't quit, stay focused, and remain as one. You're my family away from home, and I'm truly gonna miss you all. Thanks to Mr. Weiss, who's shown us what being a student athlete really was. Thank you to my special guests who are with me today, who played a major role in my life in some shape or form. A Spartan for life. Thank you.
Okay, the next young person I want to talk about, this could go on for a while, but I'm going to try to be brief. Mainly because of all the accolades and honors and awards that she's won this year. I'd like to thank her mom for being here today, and it looks like the entire family's here, and we're glad you're here. I want to talk about Haley Hatfield right now. A few things just since she's been at Mount Tabor. This is for 2 years. She was Player of the Year in the CPC this year, 2015. She was on an all-tournament Mary Gardner team. She was on the all-tournament Carolina Invitational team in Charleston, South Carolina. On the Triad All-Star West team this year that played out at Forsyth Country Day a couple of weeks back. She was the 2014 MVP of the Carolina Invitational in Charleston, South Carolina. She was 2014 All-District. She's also 2015 All-District. 2014 All-Conference. She scored over 1,400 points in her career. She was on the All-Northwest team in 2014. And if you've seen the paper this past Sunday, I'm extremely proud and elated to say that this is the first to my knowledge, and I have not verified this, But it's the first Mary Garber Player of the Year the girls basketball program has ever had at Mount Tabor, and that went to Haley Hatfield. She is signed to play with High Point University after going through numerous other offers. She felt like that was the best fit for her. I'll say this, she's probably the hardest working young lady I've ever coached. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and she's the hardest working young lady I've ever coached. Before practice, sometimes it became a chore for me to try to beat her here to the gym on an off day. To turn the parking lot, and the car was already here. They're sitting out there waiting on me to get here. They would stay after, Coach Ritchie would stay around a lot of times afterwards, and they would get extra shots up. She'd go on scout trips with me and help me scout opposing teams, and then when we would finish up, during the halftime, she'd run out on the court and get a few shots up at somebody else's gym. So it's usually not that cool, but it didn't bother her. She said, that's 20 shots I got up, I wouldn't have got up. That's how hard she worked, and she made herself a player. I had a chance to coach, or to see Haley for the first time in 7th or 8th grade. I was working Carolina Elite Camp. And as we were out doing the instruction, all I seen was this little blondish redheaded girl drop her head down, put the ball on the floor, and run over numerous people. And we got back on the bus, and I was talking to the counselors, and I said, that kid right there might be good one day, but I don't know how long it's going to take. She just barrels through people, then she goes and makes 2 free throws. I never knew 2 or 3 or 4 years later that she was going to come in our doors and be such an inspiration to our players. She also helped our coaches become better coaches. I know she helped me a lot to grow as a coach, and so many things that she done. She will be the gauge for hard work. So if anybody comes in the future and says, Coach, I'll be the hardest working player you've ever had, I've got a gauge, and it's Hillary. Now, most of you don't know who Hillary is, and I didn't either until we were in Charleston during her junior year. We had never seen Haley except with a ponytail and basketball stuff on. We got ready to go out to dinner one night, and we were in the hotel lobby, and all the girls said, Coach, heads up, we got a special guest going to go eat with us tonight. She stepped off the elevator. They had put makeup on this child. They had curled her hair. She was wearing a dress. I'd never seen a child in a dress. And literally, we didn't know for sure who it was. Now, apparently, they've been some inspiration to her because she's kind of stepped up, and she's picked it up just a little bit since then. But it's because she loves to work out and play basketball that much. I will say I look forward to going and watching her play when she plays at High Point. Thank goodness it's going to be close by, and we get a chance to take our team to watch her play, to watch Destiny play, and hopefully we'll have a few others before this season's out that we can go watch play. I'm proud of you. You achieved what a lot of people didn't think you could, but the good news is it wasn't me. I love you. You're going to do great things. Haley Hatfield.
My journey has not been alone. As a young girl, basketball was my life. On our TV, in our driveway, and my life spent in a gym. We're a basketball-crazed family. It is in my blood. My brothers, sisters, mom, and dad started my journey with me, and have been my biggest supporters, motivators, and friends. Forever, I am grateful for each of them. Along the way, each coach has influenced me. Without my coaches, I am nothing. I am forever grateful for them. My school, my friends, the Tabor fans, the support they showed me, I honestly feel like Mount Tabor is the only school I ever attended. I am Tabor City, always and forever. In closing, thank you to each and every one of you that has ever said anything positive or negative to me. You push me to be better. Thank you for your constant support and for being here today. I am forever grateful.
Okay, next up is our women's soccer program. We have two that are heading off to school, and we have Mr. Matt Smith stepping up to speak about his young ladies heading off to college.
Good afternoon, everyone. 4 years ago, Mount Tabor High School was very blessed to have an outstanding group of young ladies decide to come to our school and play soccer for us. They combined have been an outstanding representative of what it means to be a student athlete, a leader, and a caring, great individual. I'm really proud right now to stand here to recognize two of these specific ladies who will be pursuing college next year and playing at Wingate and Appalachian State. These are two girls who are the best of friends, and it is very hard to separate just the positive influence and outstanding performances they've put in for our school overall. As a much newer coach here, and having been the JV coach for one of these players, it has benefited me greatly to, wow, that's awesome. Great spot for both of you. It's just a beneficial experience for me to have such outstanding girls who represent everything good about high school athletics overall and are outstanding in terms of being ambassadors to the community at large for everything they do, not only for our school, but outside of it. They've done an excellent job overcoming both difficulties in their high school and club careers to be able to earn the right and opportunity to pursue college athletics. First, I'm going to introduce Megan Krisky. Megan is one of the premier attacking players in our region and our state. For her statistics, in 69 total soccer games from Mount Tabor High School, she has scored 53 goals. I know right now Megan is recovering from an injury that is going to test her and challenge her, but her strength of character and will and faith is going to see her through that. And I wish her great luck next year at Wingate.
I can still remember when I was 4 years old, sitting on the sideline at my brother's recreational soccer game. He was 6 at the time, and wanting to be able to play so badly. The next year, I finally got the chance, and I haven't quit since. Except for when I was in first grade, I was the only girl on a co-ed team, and I thought the guys smelled really bad, so I quit then. But I came back the next season and have only improved since then. I would like to thank my family, especially my parents, for taking me to practice, feeding me, loving me, yeah, paying for it. And supporting me through the whole process. I'd like to thank my friends and teammates, club coaches, school coaches, Donnelly, Matt, and Jay, for helping me to become the player I am today. Ultimately, I would like to thank God for blessing me with the opportunity and ability to play the sport I love for another 4 years.
And now I'd like to introduce Sarah Murphy. She'll be attending Appalachian State next year. Sarah is recognized as probably the best defensive player in our county. More importantly, most recently, I can announce this, she has been awarded an all-star position at the East-West All-Star Game to represent Mount Tabor High School for the women's team on the West Squad.
I've had an amazing 4 years here and made some awesome friends who I know I'll always remember. My life has always consisted of sharing time with family and friends, going to school, and playing soccer. I started school and soccer when I was in kindergarten, and a lot of my favorite times have been on the soccer field, whether it was at BB&T, playing twins or fusion, or at school soccer, and I'll miss it incredibly. I'm grateful though to be able to continue both my education and playing soccer at App State. I look forward to making new friends and starting another chapter in my life. Some of my best Tabor moments have been with my soccer team, thanks to this great group of girls. Shout out to Katie for the handshakes for every game, and Megan for being one of my best friends. I'll miss you, and I know you'll do great things at Wingate. Thanks to coaches Matt and Jay, who helped me become a better player, and for putting up with us. Thanks to Ms. Wesselman and Crownover for all the time to listen to me and let me vent. And thanks to Patrick Bridges, you've been an incredible help to getting me into college and have always been there for me and my family on all the questions we've had with you. You're an awesome friend. And lastly, thanks to my family, my sister Lauren. I don't know what I'm going to do at App without you, and my mom and dad, my #1 fans. Thank you for everything you've done for me and always being there. And Mom for always pushing me to do better. I'll miss y'all more than anything. Love y'all. Bye.
Now I'd like to recognize men's soccer. Mr. Benfield is going to recognize Jonathan Weir.
Guys, forgive me if I seem a little nervous, tense. I'm tired. I don't think I can endure another penalty kick shootout. So I anticipate tonight, girls, that we're going to let it get to that point, please. John Weirman, most of my players know, at least my boys know, I have 3 simple expectations from my student athletes. You must work hard, be respectful and honest, and then the main thing, when you leave Mount Tabor, it is to be a better place than when you came here 4 years ago. John Weirman has accomplished that. He has certainly enriched the lives of his teachers, his friends, and his teammates. As his coach, I am blessed to have had him, even for only 1 year. He came back and played his senior year after playing academy for 2 years, and that was his way to Davidson. But he is certainly, even after 1 year for me, a shining example of what it is to be an honest, hard-working Spartan. For everything that he means to this program and his work to this program, I know it is his destiny to fulfill the bright future that lies ahead of him. Very, very bright future for this young man. Davidson College will undoubtedly benefit from his presence on that campus for 4 to 5 years. Hopefully it's 4 years. However, while he is there and maneuvers his way through the rest of his life, I hope he remembers his team, his teammates, and me, as we are forever better because he was here. John Weirman.
Thank you, Jay. That'll be a tough speech to follow. First of all, I'd like to congratulate everyone else up here with me. You all worked very hard your whole life to get this far, so congratulations on signing. I'd like to say a special thank you to all of my fellow students who came to see me today. It means so much that you would miss out on all the fun you'd be having in 4th period to come watch. I would like to give a shout out to my close friends that are here today. Thank you for always understanding when I had to go home early because I had a game the next morning, or when I couldn't hang out with you guys because I had practice that night. Thank you to my teammates here at Mount Tabor, as well as at North Carolina Fusion Club Soccer, for pushing me to be a better player and a better person. I would not be half the athlete that I am if it wasn't for your motivation. A huge thank you to all of my coaches along the way. There are too many to thank all of them individually, but I think there are a few who deserve some praise. Jay Benfield and Matt Smith here at Tabor have been extremely welcoming as I returned to play for Tabor in my senior year. I firmly believe that if it wasn't for the efforts of Coach Jay, I would not be signing with any team, let alone Davidson College. All the extra time and effort you put in on my behalf is more than I ever expected, and I'm so grateful for your help. And last but certainly not least, thank you to my life coaches, my parents. Thank you for teaching me that there is more to life than winning a soccer game. Thank you for the countless hours spent in the car on the way to practice, games, tournaments, and showcases. Dad, thank you for being my first coach when I was 5 and for dedicating so much of your life to my development. Mom, thank you for picking me up after every hard loss and for being at all my games to be my biggest fan. And I'm still sorry about Mother's Day in 2006, which you spent with me at a soccer tournament in a sketchy Quality Inn in Jacksonville, North Carolina. You deserve so much better. Thank you again to everyone for your support these past 17 years. Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, we have cross-country track. We have Coach Riley coming up to honor Susie Oliver.
I'm here to introduce Susie Oliver, as Mr. Applegate pointed out. I've had the pleasure of working with Susie for the last year and a half as part of the cross-country and track program here at Mount Tabor High School. This year she served as our team captain, and she did a tremendous job. Since I've known Susie, not that long, I've noticed three kind of important things about her. Number one, she's a real team person. She's done a great job this year, especially of incorporating our younger people, making them feel welcome into our team, and being a great leader for them, setting a good example. Number two, she's always ready to go. A lot of times I've had to ask Susie to step into situations where she wasn't necessarily supposed to compete, but had to fill a void that we had, and she's always willing to do so, and steps up and does it to the best of her ability. And number three, we learned during the indoor season just how tough she is, as she ran the state meet indoors this year on what turned out to be a broken foot. So she's been a tremendous asset to me as I've kind of transitioned into coaching here at Mount Tabor. She's a great kid, and she's going to continue on for a running career next year at the University of the South, or Sewanee. So it's my pleasure to introduce Susie Oliver.
I would first like to thank the administration at Mount Tabor for supporting all the sports programs. None of us would be here without you. Secondly, I need to thank my parents for putting up with me and my strict running schedule, especially when we went on vacation, and for sitting through 3-hour track meets despite only being able to watch me run for 3 minutes. I would also like to recognize Coach Riley and Coach Pommel, who patiently put up with me and helped me train through a concussion, lyme disease, torn ligaments, and a broken foot. I hit many walls, but since they never gave up, they didn't stop me. Your constant faith and perseverance in training is the reason I'm on the stage today. Also, thank you to Emily Reichert and Virginia Burcham for always training out at all the meets. You'll be great captains next year. I can't wait to see how much the rest of the team improves. Jenda, Brenda, Carly, Lacey, Leah, you're all super talented, and I expect you to carry on the tradition of the hut at Renaldo Gardens. Also, thank you to my soccer team and coach for allowing me to double roster. I know it's hard to work with my schedule, but thanks for supporting me and allowing me to miss practice to run at all the meets. Most importantly though, there is one girl I would not have joined cross country without. She begged me to train with her throughout the summer of freshman year, so she would not have to run alone and risk getting kidnapped in our school. Our late night runs were always an adventure, and I'm really going to miss them. I will not forget all the times we collected golf balls or got ice cream instead of run. Even though you quit and left me by myself. I really appreciate all the times you still trained with me and snuck into the Y to swim when I was injured and needed to cross train. You have always supported me, and I'm really grateful for it. I owe you a lot, my neighbors. I'm really excited to join the Tigers at Sewanee next year, and I'm so blessed to have had so many people help to get me there. Oh, and if you haven't bought a yearbook, go get one for free.
Okay, as we wrap up today's ceremony, Mr. Weiss would like to do some closing remarks as principal of the school. Good afternoon. would like to start off by saying obviously an exciting day, as we get a chance to celebrate with you, your families, your friends, your decision to accept the challenge of committing yourself to play college athletics and be a student athlete at the next level. It's humbling to sit here and stand here and listen to your speeches and your thanks of your parents and your coaches and your friends. And here as your principal, I cannot tell you how proud I am of your commitment to your school, your commitment to your hard work in the classroom, and most importantly, your commitment as far as athletics is concerned on the courts and fields representing our school. I'm so proud of you. Being a student athlete in college, I will remind you, is not an easy task. It will be your way of life. It is not for everyone, but it is for our Spartans that are here today. It will be running, weight room, mandatory tutoring sessions, travel, hard work, being a role model, and a continued journey up a mountain for each of you. This by no means is the top of the mountain. I challenge you to work, to wear the jerseys of South Carolina State, Elon, Messidino, Guilford, Roanoke, High Point, Wingate, Winston-Salem State, App, Sewanee, Elizabeth City, Dean College, and Davidson with class and pride, and never take that for granted. We very much look forward to following you in the future. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our coaches. The teaching, support, time invested, and so much more that goes into development and the partnership with your community coaches, with your outside of Mount Tabor sports programs, partnering with your parents on your development as an athlete. I'd like to thank Ms. Christine Doyle and our counselors for all of their assistance with the NCAA, transcripts, making sure our students are where they need to be with regards to their class selections to make them the most prepared for where we are right now with the NCAA clearinghouse and the fourth quarter that you are in right now and not quite to the finish line just yet. I would also like to say a special thank you to Mr. Applegate. Mr. Applegate serves as one of our assistant principals here at Mount Tabor and has done an amazing job in coordinating and organizing and putting together this event from every facet of it. So I'd like to extend a special thank you to him for taking his time over the last week or so to change his priorities to making this a special day for our student athletes. At this time, I'd like to ask all the parents and family members who are here if you would please stand. I would like to say to you all, this here to my left and to my right is a great, great investment. There was so much time and energy and money and food and chasing your children and travel sports, club sports, AAU, camps, an incredible investment in the love of your kids. And I hope that everyone here who is sitting, most importantly to my left and right, realize the commitment of your parents and the continued commitment and love of your parents and family members who have made this such a special day and will make your future so much more enjoyable and supported through your college experience. So I want to take this opportunity, and I hope that my student athletes up on stage here will join me in a round of applause for your parents and family. Thank you. And certainly a round of applause at this time for all of the 2015 Mount Tabor High School senior athletic. I'd like to close with an opportunity for our student athletes to have some pictures taken, and then we will have some refreshments in the lobby outside the auditorium. We thank you all for being here today, and have a